What's up, everybody? It's your boy J Rocks. Today I'm hitting you with another review. We're gonna continue on today with Wolverine 1995 annual. Now this we left off where Wolverine's roaming around in the woods and stuff behind the mansion. So this annual is written by Larry Hama and the art is by J.H. Williams. So yeah, I like his interpretation of Wolverine, how he draws them and stuff. It's good to get a little variety, you know, to different artists. It's gonna be hit and miss. Some you're gonna like more, some you're gonna like less. But yeah, this story starts off with Wolverine. He's telling the story about this ruin or this type of tombstone type thing, right? Turns out this thing is it's a portal to another dimension, and he's talking about how he's seen this portal before. He's dealt with it. He says, last time I saw this portal, a storm broke it to pieces to make sure nobody travels in and out to this other dimension. Now, on the other side of this portal, this other dimension, it's like an interpretation of hell. Something came through that portal once, right? This like alien race, these demons and stuff like that. Came back in old annual of X-Men, and back in Kitty Pryde's earlier days. One of these aliens came back to this portal and almost got Kitty Pryde and almost took her back with him to their dimension when all the X-Men were gone and Kitty Pryde was left alone at the mansion. So this is not the first time we've seen this portal, and he's letting us know that. And now he's seeing it again, so he knows what's on the other side of it. He knows these creatures. He spots one of these creatures because he's out on the woods, right? And he sees them. He's like, there it is. And he's walking straight towards the X-Mansion. He goes, probably gonna hurt one of the X-Men. He goes, I can't let that happen. So he's gonna protect them, which is a little odd because it's just a regular like alien looking thing. All the X-Men have all kinds of superpowers. I really don't see them having a problem dealing with this creature. Okay, so meanwhile back at the mansion, Nightcrawler shows up and he's like, I came all the way from England to look for Wolverine and help him out in his time of need, of crisis. Because I heard what he did to Sabretooth. He's kind of losing it right now. Because Wolverine's kind of like Hulk, like Bruce Banner in the way that he tries not to rage out and become Hulk. He tries not to rage out and become Berserker Wolverine. So he's trying to fight that instinct. He's still out there, and Boom Boom from X-Force, she's right here at the X-Mansion, and she's defending Sabretooth like, man, Wolverine's no good, we can't trust him, and look what he did to Sabretooth, any of us could be next. And Nightcrawler, he's really turned off by hearing this conversation. He's like, wow, like, she defends Sabretooth, like, does she even know him? Wolverine's our good friend. She's not as good of friends with Wolverine, but he is, because she's still newer to the team. But Nightcrawler's like, wow, he's a good friend of mine. While you guys sit around here playing the blame game, I'm gonna go back there and talk to him and console him a little and so forth. Bishop's fixing the black bird, the X-Men plane, whatever. He's like, well, you know, some men, you gotta let them deal with stuff on their own. Some don't like to be helped. While all this is happening, Psylocke and Professor X are messing around with the computers, and they detect something. They're like, something's back there. They go, yeah, it's Wolverine. He's out back in the woods messing around. They go, no, we detect something different. We know what Wolverine's signal is. These are different signs. So it's obviously this alien creature. They're also aware of them now. While all this is going down, Wolverine is fighting this creature. Nightcrawler shows up, jumps in to help. They all fall in through the portal because they were fighting right around where this portal's at. They all fall through the portal. So when Professor X and Psylocke say, let's use our mental psyche abilities to kind of see what's out there. So they're looking for this creature with their mental powers, right? They try to look for him, and they're like, well, we don't sense nothing. Then he goes, Professor X says, oh no, Psylocke says, that's weird, I don't even sense Wolverine anymore. And the creature's not on the computer radar anymore. Because they all went through this portal, so they're like, wow, nothing's back there, that's odd. So now things are getting a little eerie. The X-Men on their toes now, like, what's going on? Like, let's go look in the backyard, in the woods, whatever, see what's happening. The aliens, when they're on the other side of the portal, there's a lot of them. There's like a dozen. So Wolverine's like, great, I was having a hard enough time with one. So to beat him, obviously he starts losing his control of himself or whatever, and he goes berserker. Goes berserker on them, starts taking them out, and Nightcrawler's there to help him. Once they destroy all of them, he sees Wolverine. He's like, wow, like, you need to calm down, Wolverine, calm down. We got him already. Wolverine controls himself, and he's like, I think I needed that. I needed to release that. And then he starts telling Nightcrawler, it reminds me about the good old days. Remember back when you were with the X-Men? Because at this time, Nightcrawler's with Excalibur. It's like, remember back when you were with the X-Men, we made a good team, right? Like, we did missions together. And they're, reliving the past. They're talking about their war story. At this point, Wolverine's healing factor, he's healing right now because he went to a battle with a lot of these aliens. But it's slow. It's working slower, I guess, and it's been overcharged or whatever. He just kind of passes out. Nightcrawler's like, "Are you alright?" He's like, "You're working your healing factor way too hard right now. Like, you need to just relax. We need to take it easy and, get out of Dodge. We need to get back to our universe or whatever." Wolverine's like, "Nah, I think I'm better off here because right now that I'm fighting these demons where I can't control myself and so forth, maybe I need this. I need to be in a place like this where I don't gotta hold back. I don't gotta control myself because it's better than being around like in the X-Mansion around other X-Men where he has to like try harder to control himself." Awesome panel here. He looks badass. Awesome interpretation of hell. We got like Chinese dragon type looking things. Fire pit. It looks badass right here. I'm also digging the ink in here. Going for a very horror feel, very dark tones, dark inks. So Kirok shows up. He's ready to battle Wolverine. Wolverine's like, "I dealt with you before. I beat you before. I'm just gonna beat you again." Kirok tells him, "Oh, but last time we were on Earth, in your planet." He goes, "This time it's different. We're fighting in my realm." Wherein he explains how he kind of feeds off of the environment and he has more powers when he's in hell. So we got a good showdown going down. He's a lot bigger than Wolverine, but we all know Wolverine, he's ferocious and he has healing factors and so forth. So we're in for a good fight scene, and this art definitely makes it work, and it has a lot of like, it makes it look very brutal and gritty, and these facial expressions and these colors and like blood splattering everywhere. It looks very intense. Like, the art is intense right here, and like I said, also very dark, like a dark horror feel to it. Now back at the mansion, Professor Xavier says, "I'm sensing something. I'm sensing something I've sensed before. This vile race that's a threat to our world." And he's talking about these aliens, and there's a cool panel here. He points all the X-Men direction of the portal. He's like, "It's coming from over there." They're all in a hurry to go to this portal to shut it down so these creatures don't come back out through it. This Kirok, he's losing this fight, and he does something very smart that I didn't see coming. He tells all these creatures, "Go to the portal, we're attacking Earth now." They all start going to the portal. Wolverine's like, "Oh my god, all these aliens are gonna invade our planet." They're all going to the portal, they're all running over there. And he runs over there to stop them. They get through the portal, so he goes through the portal with Nightcrawler. Once they go through the portal, the aliens come back in and go. And as soon as they go back, before Wolverine and Nightcrawler could go back in, they destroy the portal. Now the X-Men were on a run to go destroy the portal themselves, but the demons destroyed it first. And then the devil Kirok says, "Ah, I tricked you into going back to your own planet, and I destroyed the portal." He destroyed the portal because he doesn't want the X-Men coming to his universe. He's like, "I don't want them coming over here. Just one by itself killed a lot of my soldiers, and it's causing chaos right here, causing damage." So he's destroying the portal to protect himself from the X-Men, from Wolverine basically, which was kind of funny because the X-Men were on their way to do the same thing, to break the portal to protect Earth from these creatures. I found myself kind of laughing out loud right there when that happened. I was like, "Oh snap, I didn't see that one coming." So that's the first half of the annual. In the annual, it's 2 stories, as most annuals are. Now the second story starts off with Wolverine. He finds Maverick on the floor, like passed out and stuff. He's like, "Maverick, what are you doing?" He's telling Wolverine, "Somebody came after me. Somebody came after me at my house, whatever, and they were from the Weapon X program. I could barely fight them off because right now that I'm fighting the Legacy virus as it is, I'm weaker." So he barely escaped, got there just in time. Wolverine took Maverick to get medical attention. So Hank McCoy, aka Beast, he's helping him out right there and so forth. He's like, "Oh, thanks for helping me." He puts his gear back on. And he starts talking to Wolverine about, "Look, I came here basically to warn you. They came after me. They already got Deadpool. They're coming after you. They're coming after everybody from the Weapon X program. And I figured we're safer instead of letting them pick us off one by one. We're safer if we stick together and work together. We have a chance against this government. Later on, we find out the reason they want these guys because they all have healing factors. Deadpool, Wolverine, Maverick, they all have healing factors, and the government thinks maybe with their healing factor we could somehow use that gene or whatever to fight the legacy virus. And if we find a cure for this legacy virus, we can be rich because we're gonna be selling it to the highest bidders and so forth. Maverick's like, well, now that we found out what their end game is, I don't really see a problem with it. Let them find a cure. Like, I got the legacy virus. I kind of want a cure. You know? You feel me? So like, what's wrong with that? He says, yeah, we should find a cure, but we shouldn't let them control the market and sell it and stuff. You know what I mean? So basically, they don't want them to win, which I don't see that being as such an evil thing. Let them find the cure. You know, there's capitalism. You sell it for the price you want. If people are willing to pay it because your product's better or whatever, then let it be. So as Wolverine says, and they show up to the Weapon X facility or whatever, they bust out Deadpool. Couple cool action fight scenes here. You see Wolverine going at it with Slayback. Slayback, you recognize his armor or whatever, his arm. It's the story that Maverick was saying they came after him. It was Slayback that the government sent to come after him. So they deal with Slayback here too. They're all fighting, whatever. During all the mayhem and so forth, they blow up the facility. Somebody says like, hey, the place is gonna blow. Everybody books it, right? They all take off. And as they're jumping out through the window, Deadpool, Maverick, Wolverine, the whole place blows up. They barely make it out on the nick of time. Now here, this is trippy because right when they land, they jump off and they land into a river or whatever. You know, typical stuff like in the movies. This sounds like something from an Indiana Jones movie or something. And what happens here, just like always, the cops show up at the end. So after this happens, Shio shows up. We got GW Bridge up in here. I like him as a character. He's pretty cool. He's kind of like a Nick Fury sidekick or whatever. And he tells let me read this. He says, clean up your mess and my idea of a party, Wolverine. You guys just totally screwed everything up. And Wolverine's like, well, we just stopped these guys and we did your job for you. And he's like, no, we've been following them for weeks and this and that. We've been investigating. And now, thanks to you, we don't have Deadpool. We don't have the facility. And we don't have Slayback. So now we gotta pick all this up, clean up. You just completely wasted our time. So Wolverine and Maverick are like, whoops, we don't fucked up, right? They don't give a shit. They're just like, oh well, whatever. They walk away. The issue ends there. You know, shows you how Wolverine can be quiet 1 minute hanging out and his life will just go into a tailspin from 1 second to the next like usual. It's always hectic. And at the end of this annual, it shows a few pinups. It shows one right here. I'm gonna post them up right on the screen. This one's an Omega Red by Oliver LeDroit. Thought this one was pretty cool. Then another pretty cool one is one with Maverick, Wolverine, and Sabretooth, done by Therese Nielsen. That one I thought was pretty sick. The whole Weapon X team. So yeah, all in all, this was, you know, it was an alright annual. Touched on a little bit more on the legacy virus and what was going on with Maverick, because we briefly touched on him getting the virus in the previous issues, and that's it. They just showed him, he announced he had it, and we didn't get too deep into it. And I thought this was pretty cool. It really added a lot to that whole Maverick having the virus situation. Yeah, so this was an enjoyable read. If you want to keep following along with me, remember hashtag X-Men read-alongs. I'll put it up on the screen. So if you're on Twitter, just type that and I'll check out or whatever. Also hashtag back issues. And yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'll put the link on the description down below. It's JRocks_1 ONE. And yeah, but like I said, I'll put the link down below. If you like what you watched, hit that subscribe button so it could notify you on your feed. It'll let you know when my next video's up. I also do vlog videos. So check out the vlog videos too. I'll talk about random things there. And you can also hit that bell button, so like on your cell phone or whatever, it'll send you a message, an alert letting you know the next video's up if you hit the bell once you subscribed, if you choose to do so. So yeah, that's all I got for you, and I'll just check you guys out next time.